So my point with this video is to help you save your energy, your time, and keep your peace from learning from a mistake that I've made multiple times throughout my life. And it just keeps coming up in my mind recently as I'm reflecting back and on my own self-improvement journey. And so I felt it was important to share this, because had I learned this or realized that I was even doing this, I would have saved so much inner peace, time for sure, and just obviously energy. And it's a bit of a mindset shift. It's a bit of a challenge to, change the way we think about certain things, especially when we're just realizing that we've been doing it pretty much unconsciously, right? I mean, that's kind of a difficult thing. So being aware of it is number one, is the first key. And so I became aware of it, and now I really am actively working on it, right? Okay, so what is it? It is not committing to people in your life based on what you think they could be, right? I often do this where I would commit to people, and this is for any aspect, any relationship, right? But you commit to them, and it's because you see a goodness in them. You see strength in them. You see potential in them. That doesn't work. Hear me when I say this. I didn't realize I was doing this for most of my life. I would see good in people because that's just a natural thing for me. And I would let them into my life or let them close to me because I saw a potential, right? And I saw what they could be, the things that they could do, the person that they could be, or the accomplishments they could have. But it's really important to look at how a person is actually showing up in life. And really, it's a hard thing to do and to accept, but just accepting that that's who they are, that what they're showing you is who they are, not the potential you feel that they could have or could be. And I've been doing this, and it's really, I mean, also, if you think about it, it's not truly fair to put that onto someone because you see it in them, but if they don't even want to be that way, or they aren't actively doing it themselves, what difference does a potential really make, right? Because think about it. We all humans have pretty much, I mean, technically the same capabilities, right? We all have basically the same potential. We all could go jump off a cliff right now if we wanted to, right? We have the potential to do anything in the sense of what a human being is capable of doing, right? But that doesn't mean that we do it. That doesn't mean that we're willing to do it or capable of, doing what it takes to get that, right? Whether you're talking success, improving on yourself or being more honest or whatever it is, because we all have the potential to do really anything. But it doesn't mean that we actually necessarily do it. Some people may, some people may not. So I've realized what is the potential is pretty much irrelevant, right? When you see it from that perspective. So judging people based on what you think or believe or feel or see in them is kind of irrelevant if that's not what they're actually willing to do or actually showing you that they are. And so you kind of have to step back for a second and go in your head and realize, okay, I'm putting this on them. That isn't even really fair if they're not willing or capable of doing what I see that they could do. So do I really want to invest that much of my time, my energy, my peace? And that's a question that you have to ask yourself. And maybe the answer is yes. If it's your child or something like that, and that is what you're willing to do, then perfectly fine. But if it's your wife or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your best friend or your dad, or it could be in any aspect, right? But are you really willing to keep this person in your life at the expense of draining your energy, your peace, your time based on something you are projecting onto them, right? Like something that you see that they could be. In here, you're the one feeling drained. You're the one giving because you think that you mean well, right? You mean well because you see that they could be something but it's not aligning, right? They're not aligning to that. So they're showing you something different. And that's what I mean when I say trust when somebody shows you who they are, accept when somebody is showing you who they are. That's who they are. And the potential that you see is pretty much irrelevant unless they're actually actively changing that and taking those steps, that are in alignment with your values and what you want in your life, then that may be a little bit different, right? But if somebody's showing you that all they want to do is sit on the couch and eat potato chips, and that doesn't align with the type of friendship that you want or the type of lifestyle you want or whatever it looks like, then okay, ask yourself, okay, is this person willing to change? Yes, maybe no. And then accepting that, okay, this is what they're showing me right now. This is where they are right now. And am I willing to give my time, my energy, potentially waiting on a potential just because you know that, yes, they could be more engaged with life. Okay, yes, they could be, but will they? Is the better question, and we can really only make decisions based on the here and now, based on what we are seeing now, right? If you think about it, that we have to make decisions all throughout our life. And those decisions are best made with what we are seeing right now, not necessarily what we know could happen. And I hope that that's making sense, because that was really something for me that just kind of keeps coming back up recently as far as a lesson that I've learned and something that I was doing subconsciously for a lot of my life. I tend to want to see the good in people, and that's a great thing. You also have to remember that that's a great quality to have. There's nothing wrong with you seeing the potential in people, absolutely not. But what I'm referring to is when it's draining your energy. When it's draining your energy, or it's just bringing something negative, right? It's not aligning, or it's holding you back or something because, you're waiting for someone to be what they could be. And for me, it was a lot with relationships. But this could apply to any kind of relationship or anything, family member, it's anything really. What is the person willing to do? What are they showing you? Are they actively making these changes on their own? Or are you just kind of projecting what you think they could be onto that? Maybe they don't even want to be that, right? And these are hard mindset shifts to make and hard lessons sometimes to accept or see. But I feel like it's such an important one in the sense of keeping your peace, saving you time and energy, and allowing more of the people and the things to come into your life that are going to help you be more of the person you want to be and have more of the life that you want to have. Sometimes we have to see the old mindsets and be willing to accept them and change them a little bit and see things from a little bit of a different viewpoint. And it's not easy work. It's not easy at all. But I believe that in order to really grow and change and feel better, sometimes it's very necessary. And this was very, very huge for me because and I think it's just because I was doing it so unconsciously. And then once I really realized that some of the pain I was feeling was because I was seeing something in a distorted lens almost, like through a distorted lens. I wasn't seeing it, or I wasn't willing to accept it because I just wanted to see people be their best selves, but at the expense of maybe my peace or my energy or my time. And it would have saved me so much time that sometimes we just have to accept that the people in our lives have potential. Yes, everyone has it. But really understanding and accepting, are they willing to take the steps to get there or not? And then, is this something that I am willing to keep putting time, effort, energy into and waiting on? Because that's kind of essentially what you would just be waiting on someone, to show you what you see that they could be, and asking yourself, are you willing to spend that time? Or should you just accept that that's how they choose to be and that's totally fine for them, but maybe it's not for you? And then just asking yourself those difficult questions, because that can be very difficult. Yeah. So definitely, I say food for thought, something to think about, right? Something to just kind of ask yourself, do you do this? Apply it and see if there is just a little mindset shift and just something you could start thinking about and seeing if it could help you with some of your situations, because it definitely has opened my eyes wider and opened my mind up a little bit. So yeah, so let me know if you can relate or share it with somebody that you think maybe could benefit from this. Absolutely. And I hope it was helpful, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.